Deb Halfrich. It's 9:13. Zanzi's sleeping. We're going to talk about the philosophical method. This is one of my income streams, and I'm seeking a patron. We've got to sit the scientific method down and understand that it is causing a lot of problems when it comes to COVID. Let's talk for a minute. Science is crucial. I not only believe in science, I think about science. I trust science. But the science we have in 2021 is not exhaustive. Nowhere near. The science we have in 2021 has been, for the last 30 years, bought and paid for, mostly by corporations. The science that we have, the studies, are all paid for by someone. And that someone who's writing a check is expecting a certain result. Science is biased by its funding mechanism. Now, this is not entirely bad, but it does produce only the results it's searching for. Pure science went extinct long ago. We have great data from the late 1800s, early 1900s when, scientists were basically, able to think and explore and do their own work. Now it's all about the funding. So, what we're going to talk about today is science is in the middle. Math is the left brain of science. Science is half all of the reproducibility, the verification, the other teams in other labs can reproduce the results. This is all measuring mathematics. That's when we've tested something out and we know again and again and again that it's true. The right side, or the right brain of science, is my specialty. Hypotheses, philosophy. The philosophical method exists, and pay me, and I'm going to start performing it and writing it down in webinars and ebooks and retreats at Esalen. The philosophical method is the right brain telling a story about science, learning to ask better questions than the people making the funding checks do. COVID got a lot of really good questions to ask. First off, why has no public health institution been talking about gloves? I am serious. It is not airborne. Right at the very beginning, sure, we were in danger of being sneezed at or coughed at. Now, not a single human in this world is getting sneezed on or coughed at and not going to get checked for COVID. We got that sorted. The masks have proven the data worldwide. They're not really doing that bad of a job. We can't stop wearing them. This is not an either or situation. It's a both and. Masks and gloves. Right now, and especially if you look at the fact that the U.S. of hypocrisy is dead last. We've become a fourth world country. We have. And that is not mine. Somebody said it on the internet. But I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's a good thing. I'll use that bit. That's about very little that's not my own lexicon thinking, but that little phrase, fourth world country, U.S. of hypocrisy. We're dead last. And you know why? Because it's spread by somebody who is non-symptomatically infected, and they're going out and they buying stuff, and they're picking stuff up, and they futzing with stuff, and they putting stuff back down, and you picking it up. Especially when it comes to produce. People be fussing with all that produce, picking up that apple, spreading their COVID germs. You buy it, you eat it. This is called Life-Centric Thinking, y'all. This is my proprietary method. Philosophy is powerful. The ability to use what y'all used to call critical thinking. I am judgmental about judgment. Judgment got to go. We got to stop judging people. We got to stop categorizing people and saying one is better than the other. We got to all think on behalf of everyone else, on behalf of our own best interests. Then my best interest is in the best interest of the people nearest to me. And also, if I'm really good at thinking, it'll also be in the best interest of everyone around the globe. It's the job of a philosopher to think universally. That's why I am abundance incarnate. I am flummoxed. I am beyond comprehension. The 3 dozen emails plus outreaches, some phone calls, and to Carnegie Mellon professors, they're not smart enough to understand. Hundreds over the course of when I was homeful, outreaches via LinkedIn. Thousands if you think about the whole breadth of my social media. People been ignoring me. I don't understand why. I mean, I know why. First off, at the beginning, I was morbidly obese and 50 years old and ugly. Now I'm getting cute. I'm still kind of flummoxed. And I am an evolver of consciousness. I am literally in a different brain wave state right now. It's artistic flow. You know, flow from Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. His work is crucial. Stephen Kotler done a great book on altered states of consciousness. Trance. All these words, there's all these we have the data all over the place. It really is something that we actually have the ability to shift into, the transmission. Meditation is the clutch. Meditation is not the destination. Didn't think we'd go here, but this is great because I'm in the rarefied environments again. Shady Side Church. And I'm preparing. I might just go around to the church office and say, can I park in, it looks like you got space. That's what I'm here evaluating. And can y'all give me space to go walk on my campus all day long? So I got banned from parking overnight. And I'm a human being. I was going to do a little gossip. I saw the parking team when I was over getting my provisions. The foundation of my food pyramid over the last 2.5 years has been potato chips. Lost 150 pounds in 15 months after turning 50. And it's well over 150. I've done some good work. I mean, I'm able to in my car. I don't know what's going on this summer, but although my health has plummeted, all of the smoke I'm inhaling, all of the toxic fumes from living in my car, I got nothing but car exhaust coming in my airstream. The philosophical method is valuable to all humanity. The patron who funds me needs to understand we're going to put this on a stage. We're going to travel around the globe. We're going to set up Socratic dialogues, little small intimate clubs. This is the sister act of comedy clubs. And I'm just going to create money. And I'm going to pay people thrivable wages. Money coming into me, we don't need products. We're doing thinking. So we're going to find performers. We're going to find people to help me localize this stuff into different languages, into, less complex, tangential. Pull in, I could pull in 27 different statements about random different things, and in half an hour hit a punchline, just like Dave Chappelle could pull I kicked her in the pussy out of a punch bowl and make you go, she deserved it. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's one of Dave Chappelle's specials. Go on Netflix. I'm going to tell you which one. Watch them all. They are my Bible. Yes, indeed. I am following in the footsteps of Dave Chappelle. That's another $20 million paycheck right there coming in for whoever is my patron. And here's the thing. I actually want to work with Dave. I think the world needs to confront the two of us working together. There ain't nothing more taboo than me being an amateur getting on stage with Dave Chappelle. I got a 15-minute Chappelle challenge. It's desultory. Everybody now wants a quick 5. You want to be a stand-up? Quick 5. DC and I, we do desultory 15s. That's the least you're getting us out of bed for. Zanzi, got to have a 3-drink minimum. You're gonna be serving water, maybe some cannabis infused beverages. I'm ready to go back to where cannabis is legal. I'm getting ready to leave Pittsburgh. I can't winter here, and clearly my alma mater is not the place that I experienced it to be, that I believed it would have continued being. They went corporate. And I'm not blaming them, but I'm saying for a university where the dog is its mascot, which wasn't when I was the case, where the motto is, my heart is in the work. When I have been applying my sincere heart and soul to everything I have done since I have my whole life. But certainly everything that I've done in the little bit of time at Pittsburgh has been well considered, at the top of my game, and meant to give my university just as much benefit as I receive. These win-win-win strategic collaborations, you'd think a university would be all over that. I went into my sadness and my fear. I think I got. It's really the philosophical method. What the philosophical method could do for COVID. Yeah, sorry. Got back onto my train of thought. That was my train of thought. I was talking yesterday. The only people on Carnegie Mellon campus, the janitorial staff, has befriended me. Talking yesterday, a couple people smarter than what I'm seeing from the people in charge. Excuse me, but how were vaccines manufactured way back in the day? Stopping the Delta variant. And look, there's going to be an Epsilon variant. There's going to be a whole Greek alphabet of variants. And I got in my fear, so now I'm going to have to, and I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to get you to do life-centric thinking. Viruses are not alive. They're little packets of RNA. And they do evolve a lot. And they're COVID-20, no chance. COVID-21. But COVID-22 or 23 is going to be a bitch. Do not get that twisted. And look, while we're all futzing around, making assholes money in the U.S. of hypocrisy, get tested. The virus is trying to discover how to go airborne. Then we're fucked. It's hard being me and being as smart as I am and having these things to say. This is not something that I would necessarily say to the general public. But it needs to be said to researchers. And I have serious, really truthful for all chronic disease. I need to talk to cancer researchers. I need to talk to Parkinson's people. I have talked to Parkinson's people on my campus. I sent a video. I said I have lived experience with Parkinson's, and she's onto something, the researcher, but she's onto something for people who have DBS installed. That's about 10 years into Parkinson's. It is not that we need to. First off, get the people the first 10 years. That's what I want to talk to her about, because she's talking to neurologists. And then we need to get the people before they get diagnosed to begin with. Morbid obesity is a Parkinson's. You lose the ability to walk and talk. Now, we haven't lined these things up yet, but they are essentially the same root cause. Diminished bioelectricity. That's all I'm going to give you about that. So, COVID, we need to stop with the vaccines and the tests and the things, and we need to be building up people's immunity. First, let's put all the homeless people in homes. Let me ask you something, and I don't know, this is a hypothesis, but somebody go get the data. The demographic data is out there. Is it spreading like wildfire through the homeless population? I could tell you it's not, at least in my own personal lived experience. And through the eyes of one of my friends who's homeless, he's definitely having more people interactions than I am, and he doesn't have COVID. Building up the immune system. Now, I was on LinkedIn yesterday, and because I know somebody professionally who's a ghostwriter who worked for the guy who wrote The Oxygen Advantage. This book will save your life. If you have some respiratory problems, if your breathing is not optimized, and most people's breathing is not optimized, we need to be breathing through our nose. Mouth is an emergency. We can mouth breathe in an emergency. I mean, it's so critical to our survival. We got redundancy over here. Evolution is smarter than your ass. And I'm using evolutionary logic over here, because I'm a wise feminine philosopher. The right-brained side of science. Hypotheses are I. Anyway. There's a British company who have a nasal spray for increasing NO, nitric oxide, the stuff that Viagra is. Breathing through your nose produces nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is antiviral, yo. Your body has everything it needs. Okay? And then I go to Google, first page of results I find, and I have it. You want it, I'm put it out on my website if I get electricity. But see, this is the thing. It's not what is happening to me. It's what I'm not doing for the collective. Gets me all irate. I've learned how to be a hunter-gatherer. I've learned the profundity and the salience of living a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, of having survival be your day. When survival is your day, you write in the present. You write in the moment. You don't have to exhaustively turn on an app and do your mindfulness and meditations. You are consciousness. You are your optimal consciousness. And I've been working on mine, so mine is really optimized. Study early 2000s, been around a lot, been cited a lot. You can increase the production of nitric oxide that happens in your nasal passages, your sinuses, when you breathe through your nose, by humming on the exhale. There is then a follow-on study associated with this nasal spray they want to sell you. Sell you something instead of teaching you to hum. Even the Brits is in on this. Well, the Brits we just a colony. Colonization. It's heinous. But literally, the study was in 4 days, and that was rhinosinusitis, some sort of mold or bacteria. I think it was mold. Fungus. Not mold, a fungus. This person chronic, like hanging around. They got rid of it in 4 days by doing some humming. I mean, not just did an hour of humming the first evening when somebody had suggested to it, and then the next day there was a routine. I don't think it was the full hour, but I mean, you know, you do a full hour of humming. Can you? You probably aren't that fit in this area. We are really bad at breathing. Go get the oxygen advantage. He has results that he can cure asthma. It's mouth breathing. It's all of that is mouth breathing. A significant portion of it. Let's say, okay, there may be some other. This is a complex world. There are other causes of asthma, but at the basic level, it's mouth breathing. Hashtag well-being philosophy. I am the globe's original well-being philosophy. The men weren't smart enough to think about how we think about being human, nor how we think about chronic disease, nor how we think about the fact that we are on a path to self-extinct in 30 years because we're all so motherfucking stupid and we're being told lies to sell products. And not even intentionally. They think they're doing the best. That's what's really screwed up. And I went over 20 on this one. But this was not desultory. This was a world-evolving Socratic monologue harmony.